Welcome to Canberra, our nation's capital, where it is currently 11 degrees and dreary and rainy. But we are excited to be here after an epic drive yesterday. We drove from Jindabyne, gorgeous drive through farmland and mountain ranges, and the rain started. It was really quite pretty and a really beautiful drive. We're in Canberra because we're meeting Mark and Maddie from Freedom Build. They are award-winning builders from here. They're a young couple, but they really do have a high profile, really well presented business with some really interesting projects. So we're going to go and see one of their projects this morning, learn a bit more about them, and learn about what it's like to build in cold, rainy conditions like Canberra. Mark, Maddie, how are you guys?
Good. Yeah, very well, very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit cold.
Yeah, it's nice to see you down here. I think you've brought the wet weather from Queensland back down to Canberra.
No, it's the opposite. I don't know why I chose to drive south when doing a trip in winter, but I have. So we've had some interesting weather, but we've just come from Jindabyne where it was snowing. Well, it wasn't snowing, but there was snow on the ground.
Yeah.
But it was lovely up there. But look, really lovely to meet you guys and see your projects and get to learn a bit more about what you guys have got going on in your lives and in your business. So thanks heaps for taking the time out.
Yeah, likewise.
Not many people may or may not know this, but you guys, you're award-winning builders in the region, right?
Yes, we are.
What was the last award you guys took out?
I think Emerging Builder with HIA.
Right.
And we've got a few more awards we were nominated for this year with MBA.
Right.
We sort of feel like we've stepped up our level of projects and things like that. And the first couple of years we went through HIA, and this year we've gone through MBA, and there's 3 projects we've got in 3 different categories. And the biggest kicker for us was we didn't actually apply for it, but they also nominated us for Young Builder of the Year as well, just through the judges that came to our projects, which was pretty cool.
That's a good honour.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, in a couple of months we might have a few more new ones with MBA, which will be good.
That's good. That's exciting. You're the builder, so to speak, and you're the project manager? Yep. And now that combination is helping you win awards and raise your profile. Why is that important, like the awards, and how do you think you can leverage that into boosting your business profile? What do you think?
100%. I think, going from the husband and wife duo, I think everyone commonly thinks Maddie's just running the books or something like that, but Maddie's got an extensive background in project management from a commercial point, which was really good having that level of knowledge transferring back into a typical carpenter or builder by trade, which usually when they're first coming out of their trade doesn't have too many systems or processes in place. So
very common.
She's really kicks the business into gear, and just given us a good standpoint.
So you've grown into it, into that level, and the style of projects have grown, your profile grows, just continues to, and backed up by very efficient project management. That's right. And then, it's also good for, like on a client side as well, like Maddie coming in to those meetings, and I feel like people maybe almost relate and feel a little bit more comfortable with us. Having that sort of female presence and things like that, where it's not so sort of...
It's not so harsh. I always say to Mark, we're good cop, bad cop. Like we kind of, I soften him. Like sometimes he'll write an email and I'm like, okay, just let's pare that back a little bit. But no, it's a good balance.
That's good. Oh, it's so important, right? Because the consumer or the marketplace has a perception of what a builder is, and it's not positive majority of the time. So this is what a modern builder is. You know, you're like, all builders are good people and they care, But when you can have this combination of a bit of empathy and the female touch combined with the male touch combined, I think that's a really awesome combination.
Yeah.
I know it makes a difference for me in our business. Because we've been around for quite some time, but my wife Adrian wasn't always in the business. She was just literally doing the books and she hated it. But when she came in and took ownership of the role and the growth, our business just boom, did that.
Yeah.
And we're lucky, we work well together. Most of the time.
It's definitely a fine dance. And it is a pressure cooker, so
How do you guys like go? Is it all roses?
Definitely not all roses, like anything really. I think that's like anyone you work with, but it's even more so heightened when it's your partner. Because you're probably a lot more upfront and honest when they do something that you don't like. But no, we just try and like keep healthy boundaries in place and try and keep family time as family time and no work chat.
That's good.
Little things like that we try and implement to try and...
Can you pull that off?
It's hard.
It's hard. we have to pull each other up sometimes.
And then we revert back to work and we're like, we're talking about work again. So it's something we're definitely working on. But
we're both super passionate about it, which is, that's the hard part at the moment. And then
get that.
But you can then see if you push a little bit too hard and continue those conversations at night, it does weigh you down sometimes. But I think
that's it, right? When you, like you said it there, when you're passionate, you really care about what you do. You really care about your business, and you're creative. You're always coming up with ideas about. And that you guys are the same, right? So turning that off when you're at the dinner table, it's like, what about?
I don't want to wait till 9 a.m. to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this now.
The good part was I felt like we had a deeper understanding of each other. But when she did come into the business and would see the day to day, and if there's a few harsh emails or something goes wrong on site, she'll sort of know to maybe back off Mark or she'll see what goes on and understand sort of a little bit more. So I feel like in that sense, it's definitely helped us on a personal scale to understand each other on a deeper level.
So good to hear. Yeah, because I've got quite a large, broad base of clients of different dynamics in their office and how they run their office. And I know quite commonly hear guys say, there's no way I could do that. And other people are like, it's the best thing that's ever happened. So I'm really glad to hear you guys have found the right balance for each other and it's working. So what do you do on that education front? Like,
what we've found is just take them to an architect we think best fits their style, but that whole path of just meeting with them with every appointment with the architect and things like that, and just giving them an idea on all these things to think about, making sure the architect doesn't go too heavy on design and sticks within the budget and things like that, because it's quite hard to...
Tricky to manage.
Yeah, tricky to manage. And but what we've found is just also being as transparent as we can and opening up the big ticket items in a quote. And there is a lot of shocks, we feel like. But then once you break it down and help them understand it a little bit more, usually we've found people are happy to sort of keep going. It's just, it's obviously a bit of a shock at the start, but...
So education's, trying to avoid shock is really important, but boy, it's hard, eh? Because it's not the consumer's fault, but they're often misled about what the reality of the costs are. Or misguided, and you've got to be the bearer of the bad of the reality, and it's a bit of a hard one sometimes, isn't it?
Well, I think that's why the QBE is so important. Before you're sort of getting too far into conversations and paying those bigger fees for the time that it takes to get through design, and also quoting, like you start with that QBE and you're saying this is where your guide is, and usually then you're sort of having those harder conversations up front, but then you're also not wasting their time if you're going to get to the end of that process and
that's right.
Not achievable for their budget, and vice versa. I think when you tell clients as well that we get a lot of inquiries, and we also don't want wasting our own time to go all the way through that if we're just worlds apart from each other. So
that's awesome. That's great. You're adopting a good pre-construction process, qualifying, because guiding that client is so important. And it's also important because it gives you back heaps of time. You don't want to waste time, right?
Yeah.
Time's incredibly valuable. And I guess it becomes even more valuable when you start thinking about having a family, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything exciting you want to talk about today? Or let us know.
Yeah, we have a baby girl on the way.
That's super exciting. Congratulations.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very happy for you.
Yeah, so it's been definitely proud of Maddie. It hasn't been the easiest journey for us to get here. So yeah, we're super stoked that, third time's a charm.
Right, nice one, nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I've got 3 daughters and there are a few misses along the way as well, but I know it's a challenging thing, and growing a business as well as a growing family, it takes a bit of balance. Have you guys thought about your priorities with business and family, and they'll obviously have to shift, or is it?
Yeah.
Have you talked about that much yet, or?
Yeah, it's definitely on the forefront, and we pretty much ran ads straight away for some new roles and things like that.
Right.
To sort of get on board. I think we were sort of even without that scenario, we're just probably in the phase of being ready to actually onboard someone anyway.
Right.
But it just looks like that'll be probably 2 people instead of 1 person. And
right.
As much as Maddie
That's
says
very flattering. Needs 2 people to fill the role of Maddie.
Yeah, and I probably won't be able to help myself. I'll probably still be doing little bits and pieces at home.
That's the dance we're having. I want to give her a healthy amount of time off.
Yeah.
Whereas she's like, no, I want to get straight back into it. But we're just having that.
When the time comes.
Just going to go on feel, I think, and not set ourselves too many high expectations.
That's good.
And
good approach.
Yeah.
It's good to have the flexibility of like having our own business where if I did come back early, I can bring the baby in and things like that. So
and that's the other driver for why I've been working Saturdays and Sundays at the warehouse to make sure everything's done, so we can actually have a big enough space for the new staff to work and things like that.
Oh, I thought you meant for the baby rocker.
And that maybe.
in the new space.
Set up a nursery in there.
Nursery, yeah. Well, that'll be a nice showcase. You can walk clients through and say, this is where the baby's nursery is. That'll work well. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Well, I'm really excited for you guys. I know the joy that comes from parenting, and daughters especially are wonderful. And good for you guys. It's really good to meet you and see this beautiful environment that you're building, and how much you care about your projects, and building with integrity and valuing your client and each other and the environment. It's really cool.
100%.
It's really cool.
I appreciate you coming down and making the time for us.
It's wonderful. Really great to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Well, give us a little walkthrough, and then we'll do a little drive around Canberra and get a few photos and gloomy wet.
Yeah, I know. Not much to see today with all the fog and cloudiness around, but
cool. All right, thanks guys.
Very good.
Cheers.
Thanks, Haydn.
All right. Well, we just finished filming with Mark and Maddie from Freedom Built, and we thought we would be silly to not take the opportunity to stop here and see Parliament House before we drive out of town and we start to head to the coast from here. I'm loving this road trip and this tour, meeting the people, getting to know our clients, seeing all this beautiful country, and it's the connections. Like I learnt today that Maddie's parents actually live on Tambury Mountain where I live. I also learnt that Maddie, prior to working with Freedom, used to work with my brother in a previous role. I learnt that they're about to have their first child and a daughter. These are the connections that I value so much as an individual and as a business owner. See, estimating is more than data, it's more than numbers. It's about really understanding our clients, what's happening in their lives and in their businesses, and that way we can better support them. I'm getting so much value out of this. I'm really humbled by this entire experience. I just can't wait to continue on and meet the next people that we drive off to when we start to head east towards the coast.